Hi, let me try and do a short review of Small Game Hunting at the local Coward Gun Club by Megan Gale Coles. It is a 2019 novel by this Canadian author set in Newfoundland and St. John's on St. Valentine's Day, all centering around a restaurant, The Hazel, over the course of one day. And indeed, the sections of this book are divided into prep, lunch, and dinner. And over this space of time, we go through the lives of seven main characters, seven main voices in this novel, who we get to kind of dive into the thing. Probably the central drama-ish as it goes is a triangle between Iris, a waitress at the restaurant, John, a chef, and George, the owner of the restaurant, and John's wife, who John is cheating on with Iris. Um, and But the thing about this novel is it also encompasses the other people, all of Damien, Calv, Roger. Um, and I think that covers everyone. There's other people. There's Major David. There's Damien. There a gay waiter, busboy waiter, who they all have kind of these connections with each other's lives. It is where we're just sort of diving into sort of the misery, the heartache, the violence against the people in these stories, the violence against the women in these stories, and the way that especially someone like John gets away gets away with this, is given a free ride with this, is touted as this great guy, but is actually manipulative, and has basically ruined the women around him's lives. But it's also very much about how the women around him and around other characters, especially Calvin and Roger, support those men in what they do, excuse it, protect them, punish their victims. Um, we have and there's very much also sort of the idea of class in this thing. George, uh, she is she has a wealthy big George father, who is very much kind of the moneyed town part of this novel, and you get the very much kind of the kind of that divide between what I think is town and bay. I'm on a coast of Canada, but I'm on the opposite coast. I'm on Vancouver Island, so I have this is like a foreign country to me, Newfoundland. I have never been there. I've only got my exposure from this and The Innocents, both novels which have a pretty harsh view, paint a harsh picture of Newfoundland. But even this story, where I have to say it was a hard slog. I think there's a little opening line in this, which is, sit back, but this is gonna hurt. What is sit back, but this is gonna hurt. And it's like, yes, it does hurt. It is a hard novel to read, and indeed, as I was going through it, I did kind of toy with, do I want to continue? Do I want to continue reading about these people's miserable, hard lives? And it's like, I was joking with my partner. It's just like, this isn't exactly what you would call the tourism brochure for St. John's. It paints kind of lives of desperation, of brutality, of boorish, brutish men, just completely hammering away at the women, and the other women basically enabling those men, and the racism. There's a character, Olive, who is a friend of Iris, who is native, or yeah, part native, and just her as a woman, as a native, especially comes in for the most horrendous treatment in this book, and it's maybe if you're gonna have a criticism of a character like Olive, it's like she is so much the victim that there is slight glimmers of like, oh, she had a past where there was actually happiness, but she's so much the victim. It's almost a bit it felt a little bit one-sided, like, oh, that's all this character is, just because she is such the scapegoat of this society, and of, dramatically a scapegoat of this novel. But as I went along, the book also gets it just unleashes an incandescent rhetorical fury about the state of how we treat women, how we treat race, how we treat just how the society, how unfair the society is. It's so good at just kind of stating its rage in such a kind of clear way that I was won to this book's side. And indeed, Iris, one of the characters, is a thwarted or almost failed artist, but she still has this dream of painting a picture that will sort of redeem the suffering, will turn this suffering into something more. And I think that's got to be that's what Megan Gale Coles is going for, is painting the crap of this world, but making it something greater, and also kind of saying, look at this, and be angry about this. And I think it does that really well, especially kind of skewering kind of the misogyny of characters like John and Roger, but just the whole thing. And I mean, I say this is like a damnation of St. John's, but this is a damnation, obviously, of much further out than just St. John's. That I do not fool myself. This is like, oh no, you start recognizing things in here that happen in Victoria, in British Columbia, in the wider world. It is it's that going for those super specifics to get that that universalism of the state of our world. But just, let's focus here. We get the details right here. I did find at some points, I thought that the metaphors got a little bit on the, okay, I get it. I think there's at some point that John's described as sort of like a car crash waiting to happen, which I kind of rolled my eyes at when we go there. Even the title, Small Game Hunting at the Local Cwrds Gun Club, it was like, okay, yeah, I get the metaphor there, but it was the rhetoric, the anger, the beautiful anger that comes out of this book, which is definitely its strongest thing, and just how it crafts these characters. Megan Gale Coles is someone who comes from, I guess, theater, and it's very much it's like 7 character pieces welded together to make the wider story, but they actually do unify to make a wider story, even while it's these 7 character pieces. And at least for the first part of the book, I'm like, okay, this is really this day is going to last forever, and it feels like it's going to last forever, but in some ways it is. It's one of those days, that Valentine's Day with a storm coming in, that is going to last. It will feel like it's going to last forever, and we'll see who makes it out alive. All right, so that's my review of the local Small Game Hunting at the Local Cwrds Gun Club. Thank you to Aaron over at the Bibliotherapist, who was talking this book up what seems like a lifetime ago, pre-COVID, pre this year, and thank you, Aaron. I'm really glad I actually finally got to it. This is how fast it takes me to get to stuff, and it's good. It's definitely mopey can lit. It's grim, it's dark, but I think I came out the other side happy I had gone through the experience. It hurt, but it was definitely a good hurt. more videos later.